What is happening, people? What is happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. Steam had something to say this week, and they have definitely decided to step further into the console race, if there is still a console war. We're going to get into that. I'm your host, Didge, and with me are the two friends, Jamie and Trevon. How are you both doing today?
Doing
Trayvon, you go
good.
first.
I'm doing good. You know that work day is over. I'm doing good.
I understand that. I'm very glad that the workday is over. I'm glad it's almost Friday. I'm
Oh
ready for
man,
the weekend. So
absolutely.
I fully get that. But like I said, Steam definitely had a lot to say this week by unveiling a bevy of products. There it is. Okay. Steam unveiled a lot of products this week. Obviously, they had a new Steam controller, the Steam frames, and what we're here to talk about most today, the Steam machine. Their second
Look at
Steam
how they
machine.
put the Steam Deck behind the
I
Steam
know,
machine, just
right?
like not even in frame.
I know, right? Now, Jamie, you were saying before we talk fully about the Steam machine, you were saying you had a little bit you wanted to talk about the Steam frames, since the bulk of this conversation is going to be about the machine. What
Mhm.
did you want to talk about with the frames first?
Okay, so with the frames, I did note that in the video they said that that is also a PC. So it also has the capability of downloading separate apps, and it has the ability to like function by itself, basically. Like you don't have to have it connected to your computer or the
Right.
Steam machine or anything like that, which I find very interesting. And also within the video, it looks like it's doing a like augmented reality thing where like the screen is like, you know, placed up like against the wall or like wherever you want it to be, and you're like watching something, playing something, which is, you know, we've seen a lot of that with the Apple Vision Pro headset, and I think Samsung has a headset now.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
um so all of this is very interesting to be happening around the same time, and I wonder, for people that are interested in like the Apple Vision Pro and similar headsets, but might be priced out of it, if the Steam frame, which I feel pretty confident it's going to be much cheaper than those devices, if this is going to be a good substitute for them, while also maybe getting them into like Steam and PC gaming. But yeah, that being a separate PC as well was very interesting to me.
Yeah, I saw somewhere that they were saying that it's essentially a Steam Deck on your face, which
Yeah.
is interesting. Obviously, I see it a ton. Like when games offer VR, Steam will ask me, "Hey, do you want to install the VR version as well right now?" And it's like, "Well, no, I don't need to." So they definitely have been getting their feet wet with VR for sure.
hmm
Whether or not you think it's going to be a lot cheaper than those devices, I honestly don't know. I don't know if I believe that.
I
Like,
feel like it's going to compete with the Quest 3. I think that's what they're planning it at. That's what
I
I
I
think
okay,
they're
agree with
going for.
that. Yeah, I think that's about where they're gonna go for too.
that's
Um,
Because this
that's fair
doesn't
then.
look super premium compared to like the Apple Vision Pro. It looks, you know, it looks like it's like very well built and made with like those high quality materials, I guess. Whereas this is like it's plastic. You know, there's nothing wrong with plastic,
I mean, but so
but
is the Samsung one. The Samsung one is 1800, and that is very much plastic.
yeah,
I
good,
haven't
good luck to
seen
them.
that one.
Um, but but see, the thing I was watching earlier, I watched a few videos about this earlier, and I think Linus was talking about how you could sideload Android apps on it and stuff, and like
Mhm.
do all the like the normal stuff that we expect, kind of like how the Quest 3 can do. Um, so I'm assuming that's where they're going.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I don't know if I want one or not because I do have a Quest 3, and then can I trade it in? I don't know. Let's find out.
Mhm.
We'll see.
Oh, that's very fair. I don't know if I want one either. I keep saying like I want to try VR gaming,
Mhm.
but what if I don't like it? And it's like I've tried it at cons and stuff like that, but I'm talking about full on being able to relax ish, I guess, because you're gonna be moving with the VR, but like be in the comforts of my home and try it, where like you can have a full experience versus playing like Beat Saber or whatever. And it's like, what if I don't like it and I just spent all that money on it?
That is fair. I would say like I don't know if you don't have an Android phone, right?
No. Well, it's an older one. I use it for like testing out Android stuff, but It's
I
not
don't know
great
if Apple
quality.
has. They probably do have something like it, but there's like these headsets that you can get. Though basically
Oh
they're
yeah,
just
that puts your
like
phone
goggles on
into
your
it.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how I experienced my like first few sessions of VR at the beginning. And now my brother has a headset, which I'm confident he doesn't use that much because he gets spoiled and he gets spoiled. But
Fair.
he did get the no, it's not. He did get the Star Wars game. He got I forget what the meta Star Wars game was, but it's actually really cool.
Oh, that's the one where you fight Darth Vader, right?
I don't know.
I
At
always
least
see
I
the
didn't get that
commercial.
far.
I always see the commercial where it's like the guy has his VR headset on, and
Mhm.
then he's walking. It's showing you 3D-ish,
It might
and
be.
all of a sudden you see the red lightsaber. You hear like Darth Vader breathing.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's probably the same one. But I actually really enjoyed that experience. My only thing is that I still do get motion sickness, although it was better than like the first time I tried VR.
Mhm.
So they're steadily making improvements to make me feel like, oh, like maybe I could get into VR. Um, but yeah, I think if you had like, especially if you played the Star Wars game, like being a such big Star Wars fan, like you'd probably be more invested in like actually sticking with an experience like that.
That's fair. So let's talk about this machine. This marriage between PC and gaming console. I guess I should say PC and console.
Mm-hmm.
Steam very much kept saying during their video, which we can watch in a second. I do have it loaded up. That it is a PC.
Mhm.
They made sure to say, hey, this is a PC. And it's interesting because when you start looking at some of the specs and you start wondering about prices, you start getting questions of how good of a PC is this going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna pull up the video, but I want that to sit with you guys while we're watching the video.
This is the new Steam machine. Steam Machine
they
is
already
a
put out
powerful
a-
gaming PC
I think it
in
was
a
D-Brand
small
put
but
out
mighty
a
package.
skin
Designed for
thing
your games.
for
Oh,
gaming
did they?
studio.
It's quiet too,
I'm not
which is
surprised.
crazy since it's 6 times
Or I
more
guess a
powerful than the
mock-up.
Steam Deck.
It seemed like they let some of their influencers have it,
AMD GPU,
or at least see
enabling
it. So they
4K
might have
gaming at
seen it in
60
person.
frames per second with FSR. Steam Machine runs SteamOS, made for a bigger screen, built for gaming in your living room, your office, or wherever you play, with the rest of your PC accessories.
It looks like she's for
Steam
sure
Machine
streaming.
borrows some
Jamie.
great
Yeah.
features from
Yeah.
Steam Deck,
Yeah.
like lightning fast.
But I'm like,
slip and
is she
wave,
streaming
SD
off
card
or
that?
slot,
talking to
storage.
her.
It brings some new
friend.
tricks of its own,
Yeah,
she's
fair.
playing.
like
Yeah,
a
it could be
customizable
that
LED
too.
strip, which can show different system
But they show somebody
functionalities,
coding on it
or
too.
your own light show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steam Machine is a PC.
So I got some
So
screen
run
grabs
whatever
from this.
software you
There you
want,
go. Yeah, right here.
and it works with all your favorite desktop and
It's like
gaming
he's doing
accessories.
game
Steam Machine is
animation.
designed to work
Oh,
hand
wait.
in hand with the Steam
Okay, I did
controller.
see
That's
there was
what it looked like.
icons
Low
at the
latency,
bottom. We can go back.
wireless connectivity.
He was doing some
of
kind
the
of
Steam
animation on the
control
left
button
side.
Built right in.
Mhm.
And it's great for streaming your games to your phone, tablet, laptop, Steam Deck, or Steam Frame.
So that's the Steam Machine. Very much. Let me pull this away and bring the. This is it. It's very much just a nondescript box. You saw it in
The
the
music.
picture.
Mhm.
Thank you. You saw it obviously in the picture with everything together. It's a box. There's nothing we could talk about the design, but I think it's the internals that are kind of interesting. So like,
Mhm.
it is running semi-custom CPU AMZ Zen 4. So we're looking at probably a 2022. They're in Zen 5 now, so 2022-ish CPU, semi-custom, and a semi-custom GPU that has 8 gigs of VRAM, that's 16 gigs of memory, 2 storage options, 512, 2 terabytes, 2 USB-A ports, 4 USB-A ports altogether, 2 on the front, 2 on the back, USB-C on the back. And the one thing that they really wanted to make sure to highlight was that it has a dedicated Bluetooth chip. So it's a PC because you can upgrade the RAM, you can upgrade the hard drives, all of those. How easy or not it's going to be, is debatable. But is it a great PC? It's a console, but is it a great console? And the reason I keep going back to those is you got to wonder, what does this mean for consumers, and also what does it mean for the other producers? So I'll go to you first, Trayvon. What do you think that this means for like the producers? So like the Nintendos of the world, the Xboxes, the Sonys, are they shaking in their boots?
I think
Like, all right.
We still gotta talk about them.
Yeah.
I think they are, from the standpoint of, this is a console. This
Okay.
is the Steam library. That's the main thing I think they should be, worried about, is the Steam library, usually is on the PC. You're playing on the PC. There are ways, of course, to play it on other devices or whatever. There's Steam Link, which is there are different ways of playing it outside of it. Not easy ways, but there are ways. This makes it very simple. This has your Steam library on it. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming the game you downloaded to it. I'm assuming all that, and it's hooked directly up to your TV. I think that is definitely something they should worry about, because a lot of people will say, "I won't get a console. I'll just get a PC," and the main reason they get a PC is for Steam games a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, yes, they should be a little worried about it, because people might be like, "Well, next Xbox or next PS, I don't know if I need y'all." There could be a thought. Their games usually come to PC, especially Xbox. PlayStation, they've been talking about the day and date, like, on both. If they do that, and you can get every game that's on PlayStation on Steam, should definitely be worried about this. Like, this is when we find out the price, that's really when we'll really know. Right now, we don't know the price. I feel like, yes, they should be worried about it when it comes to that. It's a console. Yes, it's a PC, but the main thing that I'm looking at it as a console. And I was like, yes. So,
Jamie, I'll pose the same question to you.
As publishers, I agree with Trayvon. Like, I think it definitely should be on people's radars right now. But the real cause for concern will be when that price comes out. And I think with Steam being the first to get into this hybrid PC gaming console machine space, I guess you could say, there will be a lot of eyes for many different reasons, both from a, does this actually work? Should we actually move forward with this? If anybody could succeed, I think it would be Steam, as far as trying to create a more accessible machine for people to use. And if it doesn't, that definitely will give pause to both PlayStation and Microsoft as far as what's next. I think from a consumer side of things, there has been a question as far as do I stop buying consoles, just go full into PC gaming? Or I still like the convenience of having my console. And I'm curious what this is going to do for those people, if they're going to decide this is perfect. I'll have my cake and eat it too, have a PC and a gaming device and all in one package. Sure, you might miss out on some PlayStation exclusives, but they're usually exclusive for about a year, and then they'll come to Steam or whatever other platforms that may be moving to. So if you're willing to be patient, that's not the biggest hurdle for people.
Sure.
But I'm very curious to see how consumers are going to respond to this, especially since the Steam Deck, when that first came out and kind of helping to launch the mobile, the handheld PC side of things, people were kind of slow to take to it, but now it's one of the best handheld PCs that you can get on the market. So
an affordable one.
It is very affordable. That is fair. And I guess the reason I bring it up, and I think it's sort of what you were talking about in the people who are like, okay, should I get into PC gaming? And it's I'm sorry, your comment messed me up, Trayvon, and I didn't realize now I'm going to get way too late. But
that's fine. I'm doing well.
I could have sworn I said to you both, but I'm sorry.
You did. Trayvon responded, and then before I could respond, you're like, "All right, so it did."
My bad.
Oh my God, it's fine.
My bad. I apologize. I'm glad you're doing well, Jamie. The reason I wanted to ask that question first, especially about the consumers and producers, is because I kind of have a different answer, I think, on both fronts than you guys. I think initially, I don't know how many producers should be worried outside of Microsoft, and we'll talk about that. But I don't know how much a PlayStation gamer cares about dropping their console for a PC. I know for a fact Nintendo gamers don't care. We can tell by how fast the Switch 2 is buying. So, outside of a Microsoft who is full on stating that our next console is going to be a PC console hybrid, of course, if you believe the rumors, and sort of what they're alluding to, they have to be really worried because it's a case of I think when you were talking to me about it previously, Jamie, I took your homework and submitted it first. It really is that. They basically said we have what you want to do, and now let's say if they come in at an $800 price range, now when Microsoft comes back and say we're doing this premium Xbox and it's going to be $1,200 or it's going to be $1,300, now you have something to say. Well, is it $500 more worth of value added? Yeah. So that's where they should be worried. But for a PlayStation who's just saying, hey, we're doing the PlayStation 6 and all of your favorite games are going to be here. You love PlayStation Plus. That's still going to be here. All the things that make you want a PlayStation is still going to be here. Should they care as much? And like I said, Nintendo is Nintendo. Like Jamie said when I first said all three producers, Nintendo's probably like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna give you Tears of the Kingdom. I'm gonna give you, whatever. Something's gonna
their games don't go anywhere else. That's the difference.
For now.
They've been holding them all this time. I feel like they're not letting them go. That's their thing.
See, yeah. I'm seeing the cracks, Trayvon. I'm seeing the cracks because they have dabbled into mobile games every so often, and now they're making a billion apps: the music app, the news app, the app to tell you the notes, all that. I think they do want to get into at least the mobile market, which everybody's trying to get into the mobile market right now. But I do think they're trying to diversify the devices that have access to their IPs, because they have a huge focus on we're trying to dive more into entertainment, make people know who Mario is and who Luigi, Link, all these other people. So
I agree about the mobile apps they've been making and stuff like that, but when it comes to an actual Mario game or Sonic or whatever, those are, or Mega Man, whatever, those games that are only on Switch or whatever, I don't see them going anywhere else, no other platform. Correct me if I haven't seen like you said, Tears of the Kingdom, any of that. Now, if they ever move one of those to Steam or something like that, I'll be like, wow, I'll be really shocked by that, because I really don't expect that for them to ever do anything like that.
I think their first jump might not necessarily be directly to PC. It might be to PlayStation, since they're both Japanese companies, so there'll be a little bit of a rapport there. And they've also collaborated with Lego Horizon, things like that. So I could see them kind of doing that as their first step into the water. But I do feel ultimately, if they want to continue to grow, they do need to continue to reach other people outside of their console ecosystem, especially for Gen Alpha and probably Gen Beta behind them. Their focus has been on PC gaming and mobile gaming. They're not really leaning towards playing any of these consoles. Basically anything that you can play Fortnite and Roblox on, that's what they're looking at. Which you can do that on the Switch, but that's an additional cost on top of everybody needs a computer for something. You don't really need to have a Switch, that's more of a luxury hobby kind of thing. So I think that's where they're going to ultimately go. Granted, will it take forever to do it? Probably. What, might it be too late at the point that they do it? Maybe. But
see, Nintendo isn't hurting. You just talking about how well the Switch 2 is selling and things like that. I just don't feel like they feel
So
any pressure to do that.
So Nintendo isn't hurting. You are correct. But the thing about the Switch 2 sales, I think it was, what was it? I think they just sold. They were saying that they just sold like 8 million or so, whatever, in the first since launch.
Mhm.
What people, and I remember talking about this to, I think it was Isaac maybe, and what people didn't fail to realize is Nintendo also said, "Hey, our first month we sold 5 million." So that means over the next 3 months, they sold 3 million. So the sales, in terms of just how fast it's selling, it dropped off dramatically. And now we're getting into the question. I'm really curious how holidays are going to buoy that. But we're getting into the question of, okay, now that all the fanatics, for better, like a better term, have bought it, how is it selling to the average consumer? Because that's the question that really matters. It's not, can you sell to your audience again? It's, can you capture a new audience?
Yeah.
And that's where you really get to the point of how well or how badly changes in marketplace or changes in consumer ideology changes, right? Because to Jamie's point, if Gen Alpha or in the next Gen Beta, I feel like you could probably even lump Gen Z into that, where they're looking at, I want to be able to play all my games in one place. Then they probably aren't looking at a Nintendo console as much,
Especially since they usually don't have every game because they don't have a lot of power behind the system. So it's like, unless you are a die-hard Mario, Zelda, Mario Kart, Splatoon, like whatever Nintendo IP you want to name, unless you're a die-hard fan of one of those, it would be more like financially responsible to look to like investing in PC, or like, hey, what can I access on mobile? What can I access like for free on, like, Epic gives out a game basically every week, every couple of weeks on PC. So that would be the better option for people that don't want to spend a ton of money.
So circling that back to this console, or PC as they call it,
yeah,
that's the other side of the equation. This is very much a PC. So as they showed in the showcase, you can work on it. It looks like this is Blender, Jamie.
Let me pull up this video, because they did have some icons at the bottom.
I do have it, because I actually took the screen grab in DaVinci Resolve, and I'm pretty sure this is Blender. So it's very much you can work, you can play, you can do all of this on one device. And I think, where I was saying that I think I'm a little different than you guys on both fronts, for the consumer, I don't think that this is necessarily going to grab the gamer, like snatch them from a console and say, hey, we're just going to flip-flop, but it's going to grab the already curious gamer.
I remember what I was going to say. Go, continue.
Oh, okay. It's going to grab the gamer that's like, I would be open to PC gaming, but their biggest drawback is always, well, I don't know if that pre-build is good. I don't want to put in the time and effort to build my own computer. I don't know what company to trust, blah, 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 blah. Now, the general consensus is, you can say, at the very least, this is your minimum viable product. This should run majority of the games, because Steam has pretty much a de facto monopoly on PC gaming. So every game that they already said that every game that's Steam Deck verified is going to be automatically Steam Machine verified. And you have to imagine it's only going to be that plus, an extra percentage or more. So I feel like it's not going to necessarily grab the fanatic. It's going to grab the everyman consumer. And I think that's what they're sort of targeting this for.
Yeah. I did confirm that is indeed Blender. I saw the icon in the video.
Okay. Shout out to Blender, which makes sense. You said you run Blender through this. So
I run it on my Mac and on my PC, so it works through Steam.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
I remember what I was gonna say before, though, which was that there are, speaking of like the next gen of consoles, so there's rumors that Xbox is going to be doing like a hybrid gaming PC, similar to what the Steam Machine seems to be doing now. But there are also rumors for PlayStation that they are going to be doing if not a combination, they will be doing like a handheld, like similar to, I guess, like a Steam Deck kind of thing, or really like building upon the Portal. If that's not their only device, they'll probably also be doing a console to go with that. So you have a bit of synergy there. So it's interesting to me because it's like, you know, you could get this PlayStation handheld that can only play your PlayStation games. And even then, like with the different SKUs, as we've seen with the Xbox Series X and S, sometimes that doesn't necessarily go over that well.
That is fair.
Um,
But I mean, Steam is going to run into that with this, because that's the
Yeah,
whole point of having
possibly.
Steam Deck certified games. And I'm assuming now they're just going to expand it to Steam certified, where it's like, okay, now this can play on the Steam Deck and the Steam machine.
Steam family.
Yeah, but there are certainly games that are in the Steam store that you have to have a better computer to run.
Yeah.
Or at least they recommend it. That's why they're not saying it's certified.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be interesting because there are, who knows if Xbox is gonna do 2 SKUs again. I feel like the intelligent thing would be not to, considering all the issues we've seen this generation, even though the Xbox Series S ends up selling more than the X, but because of the I guess the different specs, it limits what the X can do, and so people that bought the X feel like they're not getting like an X amount of worth, I guess. So
This is interesting.
it's gonna be an issue because there's gonna be the PlayStation, if they're gonna do the multiple machines, they're gonna be the main PlayStation 6. There's gonna be the PlayStation handheld. There's gonna be the Xbox gaming hybrid console, which who knows if that's going to have multiple SKUs. Like, oh, you want more storage, more power, whatever it might be. There, you know, if publishers are going to try and put something onto Nintendo Switch too, which the dev kits, who knows when that will arrive for people. But if they're able to get that done while also still working on Switch One games, then there's the Steam Deck verified. Lenovo's in here now with their handheld. Asus is in here now with their handheld. Like, there's a lot that developers have to deal with now as far as like porting their games to all of these different platforms. And something that I had mentioned in a conversation with Ditch previously is there have been a few like game developer talks that I've listened to on YouTube where the advice that's been given to like developers that are just starting out is like, hey, build a mobile game first. Build like whatever your dream game is. If you can capture that in a mobile game, do that first, then port it to like PC, consoles, whatever it is, because anything that you build on mobile is most likely going to be able to run on these different machines. And that's exactly what Chinese developers have done. That's what the developers for Stellar Blade have done, as well as others. I think Black Myth Wukong as well. So I think that might be the way that developers start to operate, especially as mobile becomes such a bigger part of gaming, with just the accessibility that a lot of these like different console makers and even now Steam is trying to give to people to be able to play on like whatever device that they have handy. Which is why I'm like, Nintendo is sweating. Nintendo gotta be sweating on there.
That's very fair.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
I think you led me to my last question, and we can start to wrap it up after that because I don't want to keep you guys too much longer. We talked a lot about the pros, the cons, so this is just straight up. Do you think that this will be a successful device, and what does that success mean to you? And I'll start with you, Jamie.
I think, given Steam's history with the Steam machine, I think there might be some skeptics, and because of that, I don't think they're going to have super aggressive goals. But I also think what they have going with the Steam Deck has been really good, and there's been learnings from that. So I think they can set reasonable goals for themselves as a company and be able to achieve that. I personally feel like this is going to be a success just because this has been something that I know personally I've been asking for. I know other people have definitely been like interested in this concept as well. Doesn't mean I'm going to jump into it day one, but I definitely, I will be looking at this with fine-tooth comb, trying to see like where are the greatest benefits, where are some of the flaws, especially when they look at the like functional PC side of things. Like, can this actually replace my PC, or is this not going to cut it as far as that is concerned.
Fair. Trevon, same question.
I think it'd be very successful. I think if a game can work on the Steam Deck, it can work on this.
Yes.
I think they can work off of that idea.
Mhm.
People love the Steam Deck. I've seen so many videos how people talk about how great it is, how much they love it. It's making me want one. You know, and it's just I've been getting more into like all these Steam games and stuff like that lately, and having this thing, I would love it. I would probably, in my mind, I'm thinking I need the Steam Deck and this. Like I want both things. Not really the frame, but the Steam Deck itself, maybe the Steam machine, and maybe the controller. The controller looks weird to me because I don't know. I think you like controller if you're used to the Steam Deck because it already has those touch pads or whatever. I think if you're used to that, you probably love the controller. Right now, the controller looks real weird to me because I'm not used to that.
Somebody was comparing it to the Xbox Duke controller from the original Xbox.
Whoa.
Like, I don't know if it's that big. I don't know if it's that big.
I think I think it's just. I really do think they just took Steam Deck, took the screen out, and basically.
Yeah.
So I think that that's great for those people, but I think it'll be successful. I think if the game plays on Steam Deck, it'll play on this. I think that's all they need. I just don't think it's that. I don't think they had that much pressure on them with this. I really don't. I think now if the price is crazy, then I'd be like, all right, y'all, come on now. But if it's, I don't know, I'm thinking like 600, 650, something like that.
So
if it's there,
it'll probably
they'll win.
I don't know if it's gonna be that.
Yeah, 600 seems a little.
You think it's gonna be a lot
for a hybrid PC gaming console?
I was saying 750 max, and then I know Jamie was talking about she was watching. Was it Tom Warren yesterday, right?
Yeah, Tom Warren had an article on The Verge.
Yeah. So and then I know Digital Foundry. I was also watching their video.
Right? I think he reports on Xbox sometimes. Yeah.
Also, you're thinking that he's a little biased.
I do. Some of these things I'm hearing, I feel like people are doing that to it, and I'm like, I just don't think it's that.
I do think this, like, at first I was saying 750 max, but I think now the 700-800 range is probably what it's going to end up being at.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason why I asked, what does success mean to you? Because you brought up the fact of like they may not have a lot of expectations. I think they have a little bit more than you think that they might. And I don't personally think that this will end up being commercially successful, but I do think that it will be sort of culturally successful. So like for the gaming culture at whole, for as much as everyone loves the Steam Deck, it didn't sell like gangbusters. Like if we're talking in terms of handheld consoles, it didn't sell like crazy. Like their last reported number was after 3 years of sales, and it only sold 6 million. 6 million is a lot, don't get me wrong. But when you're talking about wanting to be on the same stage as some of these other console makers, and by saying you're doing a hybrid console PC, you're started shooting your shot. 6 million not gonna cut it. So if they are doing, let's say they double that, they get 12 million in 3 years. That's not culturally success, or that's not commercially successful. But I do think in terms of like how we were talking about how this is going to really put these other producers on notice and saying, hey, this is where the winds are sort of blowing. This is where consumers are getting excited about it. It's going to move the industry. Yeah. So in that terms, yeah, I do think it's successful, but I am still on a holdout of whether or not this will be commercially successful.
We'll see. I'm like, maybe Xbox will give them a bump if they come out with their machine and everybody's like,
also
ooh,
true.
Ooh.
I see. I think the thing that I have in my mind, I think about, Nintendo has their IP.
Yes.
There's specific IP that you only get there. PlayStation has their exclusives. That's why you want the PlayStation. There's certain games that you only get on there. Xbox is not really there. They have they've been starting to branch out now. I feel like you don't really need. I hate it for them, but I feel like you don't really need Xbox anymore because their games are everywhere. You don't really need to do that. I don't think that's the focus anyway. I feel like they really care about Game Pass anyway. That's what it seemed like their main goal is, Game Pass. So if that's what they want, good for them. Steam has their library. Like that is the thing. Steam has their library.
But to that point though, those Xbox gamers who you're saying should be the ones who will be able to be courted, they probably have a PC. And like, do I care about getting a Steam machine when I can load up Steam on my computer? I can load up Steam right now. So it's like that's where I'm saying, like, I don't know how much this is going to get
this for.
Yeah.
Me.
I feel like it really depends on what the price is.
It does.
And
that's like the deciding factor.
It
really is.
Yes and no, because I mean, yeah,
if it's $1,000, no.
I think okay, so if it's, I think
if it's 800, might be no.
What the price is and whether this person or the consumer has stuck with a platform like most of their time in gaming. Because if it's Xbox, they for sure have already moved on to like some at least hybrid kind of situation where they're playing on PC, maybe playing on their console. Yeah, so it's like if you're an Xbox player, maybe this would be something like that you would mostly be interested more than the other platforms. And then when Xbox is release their like rumored to be hybrid PC, then you'll maybe consider that. I don't know.
Now, see, when I think about an Xbox hybrid, all I think about is the price of it. I'm like, as much as Xbox Series X was, if it's more powerful than that, I can only imagine what the hell that price is about to be.
And
I will say, when the Xbox Series X first came out, it was pretty comparable to what the PS5 was.
Yeah, I know, both of them high as hell.
Now the prices have definitely skyrocketed since then. So,
well, even when it first came out, though, I still feel like PS5 and Xbox Series X are very high. That's why I'm like, whatever this next console is, it was like 6, wasn't it?
They were both 5.
They were both 5.
450. No, it was 4 and 450, and then I think 350 and 450. So PlayStation, digital, and then
no, I'm talking about that. Not talking about digital. I'm talking about
I think it was digital was 400, and I think the disc was 450. And then I think, if I remember correctly, Series S was 350 and Series X was 450.
Yeah,
500.
Which, that's still a lot of money.
500. Okay,
that's still a lot of money, but it's
yeah, for sure.
It's about what you would think a console would be.
Yeah, and I do want to also, and like I said, I definitely want to get you guys out of here. When you start talking about the hybrid and you're saying it's going to be a PC gamers,
that was a problem.
They do pay a little more than console gamers, and they are okay with paying a little bit more as long as the value. As long as the value is there. So that's where I'm like, this upcoming Xbox hybrid. On paper, it sounds crazy. Like, it might be $1,200. But when they start listing whatever their specs is, that's when you can say, okay, is this comparable to a PC of that level? And that's where I think. True. So it's that. But I do want to hear from the comments. I want y'all to tell me, do y'all think this is going to be a successful device? Do y'all think that this has Nintendo, Xbox, and Sony all shaking in their boots? Like, are they worried? And if they aren't, should they be? Let me know. But Jamie, where can the people find you? I'll ask you so I don't forget this time. I got
you. You guys can find me at Swiper_Prime on Twitch and YouTube. We be playing through games there. Although, depending on when this comes out, actually, I don't. Listen, December 2025 is going to be a little quiet.
It's coming out tonight.
Okay. It's gonna be a little quiet. So, be on the lookout for those YouTube shorts. I've been pretty consistent with those. Probably gonna start trying to cut down some episodes of Yote. And outside of that, we'll see. We're prepping for 2026, y'all. The big 2026.
We are. Trevon, where can the people find you and what you got coming up?
You can find me Nerd with the Tech everywhere. TikTok has an _ one day. And much ado about nothing, I guess. I don't know. Much ado about nothing. The podcast. I was playing, but much ado about nothing. Don't cut it out. Much ado about nothing tonight. Supposedly we're supposed to do it tonight, 8:00. So use this on Wednesdays.
I'm surprised Jawan's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't say all that.
Well, I'm his
streaming.
Patriots play. So.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Interesting. Well, I guess we'll find out. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know. Gaming, I like playing it myself. I don't know.
What if you did like some reviews?
You could do reviews.
I'm lazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, if you're not, you listen. If you're feeling it, do it. If you're not, it's fine.
Because I'm definitely getting ready to try this Where Winds Meet. That's supposed to be pre-downloading right now.
Oh wait, is that tomorrow?
Yeah, it comes out. It might be technically tonight at 11.
It's preloaded right now. I know.
Dang, and Gambit comes out tomorrow too.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot. So,
yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Well, you can find me at DidgeD. Gaming, we're still going through Silent Hill. I think tomorrow I might be doing Rivals on stream, trying out Gambit. At some point this weekend, I definitely want to stream Where Winds Meet. So
yeah, I'm a download.
Silent Hill might not be back until next Monday, but we'll see what happens. You can also find me on the Geek Set podcast every Sunday at 2. Obviously, there's Geeking on Tech Fridays, 5-ish. You know, we figure out a time around that 5 o'clock hour. 6 o'clock hour, obviously, if you're on the East Coast. And that's about it. Just keep up with my socials. That's where I'll post most things. But until next time, people, peace out.
Peace out.
Peace.